guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie. Today's video is going to be a first impression, a foundation first impression. It's been such a long time. If you guys have been following me for a while now, you know that I love making first impressions, especially on foundations. And there's a few new foundations out there. So I wanted to start with the L'Oreal Infallible foundation up to 24 hours fresh wear. I'm so excited for this one, and I low-key have really high expectations because I clearly have an Infallible obsession. I love their Infallible line. I feel like it's one of the best ones in the drugstore, and these have been my favorite for a long time, especially this one right here. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first impression. Alright, so like I mentioned, I've been a huge Infallible foundation fan, and these two have been my favorite for the longest, especially the Pro Glow. I've made individual first impressions on them. They're a little bit old, but you guys can go and check them out and hear my opinion about them, some pros and cons and stuff like that. Packaging wise, the fresh wear is a little bit different compared to these two, since these are little tubes. These were a little bit easier when it came to traveling and organizing it. This one is a glass bottle and it has a pump. Shade range, it brings 30 shades. Right here I have two because I honestly don't know which one I am, and they kind of sort of look similar. And then the shade after seemed a little bit way too dark for me. That's always the case for me. Like, I'm always either, name-wise, I'm always caramel, I feel, but it's a little hard for me to find shade because I'm never too light or too dark, if that makes sense. Something that I personally don't like when it comes to naming or numbering foundation shades in the drugstore is the fact that these are so off. Even though they're all from the same brand, all from the same family, the Infallible family. My shade in the Pro Matte, it's 109. Then the Pro Glow, I am 210. And then for this one, I'm guessing I would be 485. I also have 490 here. Personally, just don't even know. This one is supposed to be darker, but to me looks lighter in person, or more on the neutral side, and I have more on the yellow undertone. So I'm going to try this one out first and see, hopefully, if it works. All right, that seems like it would match me. Right off the bat, I feel like I wish it would have like a little darker. I'm going to see the difference. See, I feel like this one is neutral, the darker shade. Not for me. All right, taking a flat kabuki brush like this one and blending it out. I love the smell of this. Oh my God. I feel like my ring light always washes me out, so I'm going to make it a little darker so you guys could see. Okay, so shade wise, I mean, I feel like I could totally make this work now in the winter, but I'm definitely a shade darker, and it's not 490, which is the following shade. So I have to still figure out my shade. I'm still going to review this one because I still feel like I could make it work. And I just want to let you guys know how it works throughout the day and everything else around my first impressions. But right off the bat, I love the look of it. I do see the fresh wear when it comes to the name. I feel like it looks a lot more natural, even though the Pro Glow looks really natural on the skin as well, and it's one of my favorites. This one seems to lay a little bit nicer on the skin. Finish wise, I feel like it's a mix of these two right here, more on the satin finish, so kind of like glowy but not too oily. I think it will work great with any skin type. Coverage now, I unfortunately don't have that many like acne marks anymore compared to how I used to. From what I could see though, I feel like it's definitely a medium to full coverage, so you can build it up. I'm going to dot a little bit more on my chin. So you can definitely build the coverage of this foundation. I do have to say, I love the smell of this. Like, is it the foundation? Or is it the brush? No, it's definitely the foundation. I'm going to finish the rest of my face and be back in a little bit to let you guys know how I feel about it after it's all on, and trying out the new Infallible concealer. So be back in a few. I'm back and I'm better. Just kidding. So this is what my face is currently looking like after a full face of makeup. I feel like it definitely helped the foundation set and just blend everything together. Like you guys saw in the previous clip, I was kind of struggling with the shade because it looked a little bit too light. Even though it seems like the perfect winter shade, I feel like definitely for the summer I'm going to have to find a different shade, but for now this will do. Let's just jump right into the pros and cons because I have a few to share with you guys. Starting with the pros, packaging wise, I really love the packaging. I like how it looks. I like that it's glass. I also love the fact that it has a pump. I feel like that's amazing, and you guys know how I feel about it. Color range, they have up to 30 shades, which is great, especially for the drugstore. I personally feel like they're way too close to each other, so that to me has to be a con, since it can get a little hard to find your perfect shade, them being so close to each other. Like this one is $4.85 and then $4.90, but I feel like the lower number ended up being a darker shade. Maybe it's just the undertones, because this one is a little bit more neutral and then this one has a little bit more on the yellow undertone, which is what I am. But yes, it can be a little hard. Color range is amazing though, so I hope I can find my summer shade. It has 25 SPF, which is amazing. It's supposed to be up to 24-hour wear. Obviously it's my first time trying it out, so I'm going to be updating you guys how it wears throughout the day and everything else in the description box down below. With my Infallible experience, aka the Pro Matte and Pro Glow, I have to say they're both equally amazing when it comes to longevity. Like these last a long time and it looks just the same throughout the day. So I love these two. I'm guessing it's going to be just as good when it comes to long wear. Finish wise, to me this one is the in-between of these two, of the Pro Matte and Pro Glow. So it has more of a satin finish. Therefore, it's going to look like your skin glowy, but also a little bit matte, if that makes sense. Coverage wise, to me, it's a medium to full coverage, but it's buildable, so you can build it up and maybe hide more imperfections if you have to layer it. Last but not least, look wise, I feel like it looks really natural, really fresh, like the name. It looks like your skin but better look. It also doesn't catch onto your fine lines like my laugh lines or my forehead. It's also really lightweight and breathable of a foundation, so I feel like it doesn't even feel like you have a foundation on. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Con wise, I basically feel like it's just the fact that the shades are too similar to each other, but nothing else. I absolutely love everything else about it. I feel like it's definitely a must try. But yeah, let me know if you guys have tried it out in the comments below, and if you want me to make more first impressions on foundations, leave me some recommendations below as well. Subscribe and see you next time. Bye. When I tell you guys, it was not like loud whatsoever. No neighbor sound, no cars passing by. The second that I start to film, dude. Let's just jump right into